Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Absolute Carnage Miles Morales, issue number 1 of 3. This is a tie-in for all the absolute Carnage stuff, and it's absolutely awesome. Since I'm able to say absolute now, I just learned that word apparently. Anyway, good comic book. Let's get talking about who made this comic book so that we can talk about the book itself. We got warning, the events of this story take place after Absolute Carnage 1 and 2. If you haven't read them yet, proceed at your own risk. Yeah, I can see that. I did read Absolute Carnage 2 first, but I think that I could have read this one too and been perfectly fine. It's not that one precedes the other. It's that one. It's that they both kind of happen at the same time. But you'll see the ending of this book in that book, which is weird, right? They both end at the exact same moment. Okay. Saladin Ahmed is the writer. Federico Vincentini is the artist. Eric Arcianega is the color artist. VC's Corey Petit on letters. Clayton Crane doing the cover. And there are a bunch of variant cover artists. And yeah, awesome. So, Jay Bowen doing the logo design. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko are the creators of Spider-Man proper. This shows what happens in Absolute Carnage issue number 2. It shows the beforehand, and then it ends again at the exact same moment. In fact, there's an extra little thing that Miles technically says at the end of Absolute Carnage 2, so you really should read them both. I don't honestly know why you would read this without reading that, and so far, all of these tie-ins are worth getting, man. Oh yeah. Oh, hells yes. What do you call it? Miles is hanging out with his bud Genki, and they're looking at a nice pair of shoes and acting a lot like Brian Edward Hill. Passes a pair of awesome shoes, stops, walks back, and just stares at him and says, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna add this to my collection." Which is, it's all good, baby. It's all good. If you got the cash, flex. So, unfortunately, Miles doesn't have the cash, but then it starts raining money. Why? Well, because Scorpion is in the middle of robbing an armored car. I mean, it's New York City. There's plenty of armored cars with cash to be robbed, just flying around. Anyway, this winds up turning into a brawl until Absolute Carnage winds up spilling into the streets, and Miles comes face to face with Carnage proper himself, and it just gets scary from this point on. You get a little more in depth as to what happens in Absolute Carnage in this issue, but both are pretty simultaneous after they meet up with Carnage. So so there's that. Anyway, both really good stories. Read them both to get a better, not just understand, I think you'll understand plenty of what's going to go on, but you'll get a deeper story being told by reading them both. And honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't read both. All of these are just amazing tie-ins to the Absolute Carnage story itself. I would definitely recommend getting all of them. That's real talk. And I'm up here holding real physical comic book, copies for a reason. So consider. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Go out, comic book store, pick it up, pull list. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.